Cher never imagined herself on a Christmas album, and when the record company suggested it, she had her doubts. Before becoming a solo sensation, she was part of something much bigger, Sonny and Cher. More than just a couple, they were a cultural phenomenon with chart-topping hits and an electrifying stage presence. However, fame came at a cost, and cracks in their relationship began to form behind the scenes. For years, Cher remained silent, allowing the world to believe in their picture-perfect image. But at 78, she's finally revealing the truth about their turbulent past and shocking divorce. Sonny and Cher embodied the free-spirited energy of the 1960s. With hits like The Beat Goes On and I Got You Babe, they weren't just making music, they were shaping a generation. Their undeniable chemistry made them unforgettable, with Cher's striking presence contrasting Sonny's quirky charm. But before they became icons, Sonny was already making waves in the music industry. By the time he met Cher in 1964, he was 27 and separated from his wife, while Cher was just 16, still searching for her path. Their first meeting in a coffee shop felt like a scene from West Side Story, but it wasn't love at first sight, just an unexplainable connection. Ironically, Sonny wasn't even interested in Cher at first. He had his eye on her friend. But fate had other plans. When Cher was kicked out of her apartment, Sonny offered her a place to stay in exchange for helping around the house. For Cher, who had grown up without a father, Sonny made her feel safe. That bond soon turned into something more. Though she initially dreamed of acting, music pulled her in. She started as a backup singer for groups like the Crystals and the Ronettes, and even recorded a solo track, Ringo, I Love You. But everything changed when she and Sonny joined forces. Their first big break came in 1964 with Baby Don't Go, followed by their career-defining hit, I Got You Babe in 1965. With her long, flowing hair and his signature mop top, they captivated audiences. Riding their newfound success, they churned out more hits and ventured into Hollywood, starring in the 1967 comedy Good Times. However, their film career never took off, and when Sonny's film Chastity, written for Cher, flopped, they found themselves drowning in debt. Struggling to keep up with the rise of psychedelic rock, they reinvented themselves as a Las Vegas nightclub act. Against all odds, the gamble worked. Their show blended music and comedy, with Cher's playful roasting of Sonny becoming an audience favorite. This newfound popularity led to their next big chapter, TV stardom. Their appearance on Top of the Pops propelled them back into the spotlight. But behind the scenes, their relationship was far from perfect. As their fame soared, so did Sonny's infidelity. Reports surfaced that he was unfaithful, and to make matters worse, they weren't even legally married. Despite this, Cher continued working with Sonny, forgiving him time and again. By 1969, everything changed when Cher became pregnant. Sonny, now promising fidelity, finally made a real commitment. Their child, Chastity, now Chaz, was named after the film Sonny had written. It wasn't until 1971, after Chaz's birth, that Sonny and Cher officially tied the knot. That same year, they landed their own TV show, the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, on CBS. Initially a summer program, its popularity led to an extended run. Audiences adored their humor, music, and effortless charm, making them feel like close friends welcomed into millions of homes every week. The show became one of television's biggest hits, featuring comedy, music, and celebrity guests like Carol Burnett and Glenn Ford. Cher's performances of Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves, and One Tin Soldier were highlights, while the duo closed each episode with their iconic duet, I Got You Babe. Even their son, Chaz, made occasional appearances, reinforcing their family-friendly image. The show's success provided a lifeline as their music career slowed, but behind the cameras, their personal struggles continued to mount. Everything looked perfect on TV, but behind closed doors, things were different. Cher was becoming a huge star, and Sonny often felt left behind. He admitted that Cher was like a butterfly meant to be free, yet he still tried to control her. He didn't want her spending time with other men, not even their band's musicians. One of them, guitarist Bill, had feelings for Cher. One night, while talking in their dressing room, he kissed her. It was then she realized how trapped she felt. She later described it as a moment where she had to blow up her own life just to escape. When Sonny found out, things got worse. Both began seeing other people. Sonny admitted that one woman, or even five, was never enough for him. Yet, they remained married on paper, keeping up the act of being the perfect couple for the sake of their public image. On screen, they played the happily married duo, but behind the scenes, it was a different story. Sonny was desperate to keep the show alive and asked Cher what she wanted. She threw out demands: her own place in Malibu, $5,000 a month, and freedom. For 2 more years, they kept up the charade. By 1974, Cher had enough. Sonny was always in control, and she felt like her voice didn't matter. She finally filed for divorce, saying she felt like a prisoner in their marriage. Sonny never hit or yelled at her, but after years of being sidelined, she realized her needs had never truly been considered. The divorce hit Sonny hard, but Cher was the one who got the real shock. She discovered that Sonny had structured their business so that he owned 95% of their company, with his lawyer holding the remaining 5%. When she confronted him, his response was chilling. He had always known she would leave him. She had stuck by him through everything, and now he had taken it all. In the end, Cher got the worst deal. She walked away with nothing, despite working hard for her money. To make matters worse, their contract required them to stay together as a couple, and when they didn't, she had to pay him an extra $2 million. She never imagined she'd be held responsible for deals they couldn't fulfill. Eventually, they settled, and by 1975, their divorce was finalized. With Sonny behind her, Cher focused on rebuilding her career. Her solo TV show became a massive hit, drawing in millions of viewers each week. However, her music career wasn't soaring. In the midst of it all, she was swept up in a whirlwind romance with Gregg Allman, lead singer of the Allman Brothers Band. They met backstage at one of his concerts, but Cher was living with music mogul David Geffen at the time. Even though Gregg met Geffen, it didn't stop anything. Cher was completely taken with Gregg, though her relationship with Geffen was still ongoing. Their first date was a disaster. Gregg passed out from drugs. Still, they ended up married. But just 9 days later, Cher filed for divorce. She had been sheltered from the darker side of the music industry, and Gregg's struggles with addiction hit her hard. According to a biography, he was so out of it that he didn't even realize she was leaving. A month later, Gregg swore he would get clean, and Cher gave their relationship another shot. They even made an album together, too, the hard way. But their relationship was far from easy. Gregg struggled with the fact that Cher was still working with Sonny on their TV show, which drove a wedge between them. At one point, he even filed for divorce. Then everything changed. Cher found out she was pregnant with their son, Elijah Blue. Gregg decided to stay, and they remained together for a while. However, by 1978, they divorced. After her split from Gregg, Cher signed a deal with Casablanca Records. The label wanted her to go full-on disco, but she wasn't thrilled. She saw herself as a rock artist, not a disco queen. Still, she went along with it and recorded Take Me Home. To her surprise, the title track became a massive hit, making her a disco star alongside legends like Donna Summer. Riding that wave, she released another album that same year, Prisoner. Meanwhile, the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour became one of television's biggest shows, featuring comedy, music, and a steady stream of celebrity guests like Carol Burnett and Glenn Ford. Their goofy skits were a hit, and Cher's performances, belting out songs like Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, became fan favorites. They wrapped up each episode with their iconic duet, I Got You Babe, often joined by their son, Chaz. While the show was a major success, their music career was slowing down. And though everything looked perfect on TV, Cher's rise to stardom only widened the gap between her and Sonny. The facade of a perfect marriage had already begun to crumble, paving the way for her to step into her own spotlight.